Greetings. My name is Ram Hotep, coming back at you again with another video, broadcasting on behalf of 13signsastrology.com. Got an inquiry in reference to a tattoo, and I thought it was pretty interesting because since I got this inquiry, I kind of decided, so those of you that are listening to this video, if you want my perspective on what your tattoo may mean, or if you want my perspective on what a tattoo that you might potentially want to get, if you want to know what that means in reference to the occult and exactly what that sigil or that symbol is, definitely feel free to shoot me an email at 13signsastrology@gmail.com. That's the number 13, signs plural, astrology@gmail.com. Now when you shoot me these emails or whatever, make sure you email me or whatever, because a lot of times people send me messages via YouTube, and I get the messages via YouTube, but it'll be a little bit swifter. I've been very busy lately, but it'll be a little bit swifter if you send your inquiries via email, and I'll definitely get to all the inquiries. Sometimes it might take me time, but I'll definitely get to your inquiries. But somebody asked me to do this video on a tattoo that they were going to get. It was basically depicting Saint Michael, the Archangel Michael, Saint Michael, and they wanted to know what is my perspective on Saint Michael and the Archangel Michael. Now, first thing I want to point out is that most of your saints and your archangels, they got into the Bible via the Sumerian text. And those of you that follow my videos know that I don't have anything against people's religions and things of that nature, but I try to go as far back into the origin of things as I can. And when you research the angels, actually you go back into the system in the school of the Elohim, believe it or not. And you had different classes of angels or Elohim. You had the what you would call the seraphim, and then you had the cherubim. Now the seraphim were the Elohim that dealt with, and I'm going to do a video on this to go more in depth, but they were the agreeable Elohims or whatever. And then you had the cherubim, and the cherubim, these were what you would call the disagreeable angels, or some people call them the faller angels or the lesser gods. Now when I say they're disagreeable, this just means that they vibrated on a lower level, or their energy or their prana or their chi was lower, or and they vibrated on a lower level than in comparison to their higher up brothers or sisters that were the agreeable seraphim. These particular angels vibrated on a much higher level. Now, really, in truth, your seraphim angels did not ever incarnate in physical flesh. So when you start talking about angels and angels coming here and visiting here, and ascended masters, some people call them ascended masters, when you start talking about them taking on flesh, you have to keep in mind that they failed. They had to lower their vibration in order to even take on flesh. So the first angels that came here were actually really the cherubim, or the disagreeable angels. And I point this out because this is very relevant to the Archangel Michael, because the Archangel Michael, he was he started off as a disagreeable. He was a disagreeable angel, and he became agreeable. So he learned how to raise his energy up, and he became agreeable. So starting out, he was what they would call disagreeable. Now, when we say disagreeable, you have to understand that I'm talking about disagreeable in accordance to the order of the Anunnaki, or the order of the angels, or the hierarchy. So you had the agreeables were higher up, and basically the agreeables were those that just agreed with the council, pretty much. And then the disagreeables were those that didn't agree with the council, and they disagreed with the council. So, I give my information, I'm very biased, you know what I'm saying? When I give my information, and I'm not against the agreeables or the disagreeables, I'm here to basically merge the two and to help to show you how they basically kind of work hand in hand. So really, when you start talking about angels and the archangels coming here, they all fail. So in essence, they all had to take on disagreeable energy in order to come here. But what happened with Michael, he decided that he was going to become agreeable. Michael decided he wanted to become agreeable, and he was a disagreeable warrior type of class type of angel or whatever. He was a warrior, very strong, and very disagreeable or whatever. But he decided he wanted to basically become agreeable. And what that means is that he wanted to work with the council. He wanted to work with the Galactic Federation, basically. And he wanted to basically become a part of the order of Anu. So, and in him becoming a part of the order of Anu, he became what is called agreeable. So then now, when you read about him in the book of Revelations and in the Bible and things of that nature, you read about him being a agreeable angel. And you read about him making war with what you would call the devil or the beast. And many people don't realize what the devil or the beast is. And I'm going to help to, you know, try to clear up and shed some light on it. So when you read about the story of Michael in the Bible, what you have to realize is that that story came from the older Sumerian text. Most people know this, but for those that don't, I'm pointing this out because most people that follow my work already know. They already know about the Tatoo, and they already know about the Anunnaki more so. They already know about the Anunnaki and the Sumerian deities. So they already know that basically Sumerian deities basically became your biblical Elohim and things of this nature. So I'm basically walking the neophyte, or those that don't know, because there's a lot of people that don't know. I'm walking you into the truth of the information. So Saint Michael was actually Murdoch. He was actually Murdoch, and that was his name in Sumeria. And then the story of Murdoch carried over into the story of Michael. Now, when you work with Michael, the metaphysical meanings, I'm going to get to that, but you have to understand his story. And once you understand his story, then you'll understand what he means on a metaphysical level, because his story tells it all. So Michael basically became a warrior for the Tatoo, the Seraphim, or the agreeable Anunnaki. Excuse me, I keep saying the agreeable Tatoo, but they kind of, you could say they're Tatoo, but they really weren't the Tatoo because those are nature spirits, but they sat in the seat of the order of the Tatoo. So you can kind of call them Tatoo, but really the agreeable Anunnaki, or a better way to put it is the agreeable angels. So he became an agreeable angel, and basically his job was he made war. He made war with what they call in the Bible, they call him the devil or the beast or the dragon. But he made war with the dragon. And basically he made war actually with Tiamat. So really what Michael did was he was a warrior, and he cast out, you read about the war where Michael cast out the devil out of the heavens, and he cast him into the earth. He cast him into the earth. And that's very important, because Michael, like I said, was a warrior. So this war took place in the heavens, and this is how your fallen angels got here, because he cast these disagreeable reptilians, is what they were, into the earth. Now really, that you got to keep in mind, Michael himself was a reptilian. He was part reptilian. He had the reptilian species in him, because he very much was a part of the disagreeables at one point, but he became agreeable. So that's what people for to realize, they're all reptilians are not disagreeable. You know what I'm saying? You have agreeable reptilians, you have disagreeable reptilians. And then we are, as far as when I say we, well, people that are humans, because I really don't like using that term. I mean, I really don't consider myself a human. But people that are humans are reptilian. Like, they're part reptilian as well. So when you start talking about reptilians and shapeshifting and stuff, it's just some humans, the reptilian gene dominates them. So they're more reptilian than other humans, but not trying to get too far off the point. But Michael was a reptilian. He was of the reptilian species, and he made war and fought the disagreeable angels, or the hierarchy that he once was a part of. He fought them, and he made war with them. And basically he cast them here into the earth. So your reptilian species, they've been here. They've been here because they were cast out of the order of Anu, or the order of the Galactic Confederation, or basically the order of the universe. They were cast into the earth, and they were given basically dominion to conquer the earth and to rule over the beings of the earth for a certain time period, until the making of some people call them Adam or Cotman, or basically the making of the Homo sapiens or whatever, because then Homo sapiens were supposed to be given dominion over the earth, but Homo sapiens lost their dominion because, you know, we didn't take charge, and we didn't become the gods or whatever. So now we are enslaved to the same reptilians, but really Homo sapiens were supposed to be the gods. We are the gods of the earth or whatever. So but like I said, I mean, that's a whole nother subject in and of itself. So basically, to understand Michael on a metaphysical level, you have to look at him. He's a protector. Michael is a protector. That's basically what he means on what his image is on a metaphysical level. He's a protector angel, a protector deity, and basically his animal spirit is the dragon, believe it or not. And the reason why his animal spirit is the dragon, because he made war with the dragon, he defeated the dragon, so he took on the characteristics of the dragon. Like I said, there's different classes of dragons or whatever. So he was what you would call a green dragon. This is what Michael was. He was a green dragon. So in Hebrew, his name is Mika. His name is Micah. So when you read in the book of Micah, some people pronounce it Micah, but it's really Micah. When you read in the book of Micah, that's talking about Michael. That's the same name or whatever. Michael is just the more Roman version of the name. The Hebrew aspect of it is Micah or Micah. And so you read about that in the book of the Old Testament. You're reading about, again, the story of the Archangel Michael. His story carries over into different aspects of the Bible or whatever. So if you decide to get him, he was a part of a triad. You had Raphael and Gabriel were his was the other two members of this triad. Because actually, when you deal with the order of the angels, they it was 7 of them. A lot of people say it's 7 of them, and I know all 7, the 7 Elohim or whatever, but it was mainly 3 main angels, what you would call a triad. It was 3 main angels, which is a triad, that had a lot to do with the existence and the shaping of the earth the way it is today. It was based on this triad that came down, and that triad is Gabriel, Mikael or Michael, and Raphael. They had other ones like Uriel. All of them, they have their last name El, but those are your core angels or whatever, the triad. This is like, they were the chiefs. And they've made movies about Michael. They've made movies about Gabriel, believe it or not. They have a movie I call Gabriel. You should get that movie because it goes into the metaphysics behind who these angels were. But again, his counterpart is Murdoch in Sumeria, and basically he became Michael. In the more Roman aspect of the story, in Hebrew, he is Micah. He's a protector angel. His symbol is the dragon and the sword as well. The sword is another one of his symbols. And he was a warrior. He became agreeable and decided, he switched sides or whatever, and decided to work for the opposite side. And I'm going to do a video talking in depth about the Illuminati, and going into the Galactic Federation. That video is coming really soon, so stay tuned for that. So I hope this help people to kind of understand exactly who the Saint Michael is, the Archangel Michael, and to, just to kind of learn more about his metaphysical meanings and what he means in the spiritual world. So for more enlightening information, I ask you to visit my website 13signastrology.com, and I'll leave you in peace.